Alright, yo, what's going on, everyone? Yarikz here. Welcome back to another Beast Farm Simulator video. And in this one, I'll be giving you the best tips and tricks for Beast Farm Simulator you can ever find. So if you couldn't tell by now, I'm a pretty good Beast Farm player. And that means I've been playing for a long while. And I can tell you, I've been playing ever since the game first came out. So I'm somewhat of a Beast Farm connoisseur. That's why in this video, I'll be sharing you all the tips and mistakes and the good things that I did in my Beast Farm career, and hopefully this helps you out somehow. If it does, drop a like and sub, or if you just enjoy watching my videos, drop a like and sub as well. But yeah, let's get right into the tips and tricks. Also, this is my 6th time recording this video, no joke. But yeah, first tip and trick that I can give you guys, it's probably the most important out of this whole list, but yeah, first tip and trick I have for this list is to level up your hive. Easy as that. You do not know how many people I see save all of their honey for a better tool instead of leveling their hive. That one extra level, if you get your hive to the next level, it's so crucial. You might think that if you save honey for a better tool, you might get a lot more honey, but trust me, it does not work that way. Leveling up your hive, it's like investing, you get something back. And if you spend a couple billion or a couple trillion on your hive, you'll get that honey back much faster, trust me. So I would say spend a solid 60% of your honey you make each day on your hive. Yeah, levels, very important. Moving on to something that I know a lot of people are on the Spirit Bear questline. Spirit Bear is infamous for how long her questlines are, but hopefully this tip helps you out at least a little bit. So pretty much Spirit Bear gives you 3 Spirit Petals total in 30 quests, so you get 1 Spirit Petal every 10 quests you complete. Those Spirit Petals can be used for one of 3 things. First one is you can donate it to the Wind Shrine to have a chance of getting a Windy Bee when you donate Cloud Vials. Other 2 things you can use them on is the Petal Wand and the Petal Belt, both of which are very good tools. So what I would do with your first Spirit Petal is probably buy the Petal Wand, and I know a lot of people prefer giving it to the Wind Shrine so they can get their Windy Bee faster, but trust me, the Spirit Bear questline is going to be pain without the Petal Wand, so they definitely want a good tool for it. The Porcelain Dipper is good, but the Petal Wand is just so much better. So yeah, your second one you can give to the Wind Shrine, and you can hopefully get a Windy Bee quite fast, so good luck to you in that. And the third one you can use on a Petal Belt, but it will be a while till you can afford it after, like, you know, spending all your stuff on the Petal Wand and the Windy Bee. Yeah, hopefully that covers any questions about Spirit Bear. Moving on, if you do not have all of your event bees gifted, or you do not even have all of your event bees, listen up. This is important. I don't want to waste too much time on this, but here's the order you want to buy all of your event bees in. Crimson and Cobalt, or Cobalt and Crimson, doesn't matter, whichever one you like more. Tabby, Photon. Puppy Bee you can ignore until you have a level 15 hive. Windy Bee, self-explanatory, you can't buy it with tickets. And Gummy Bee, you should be using your fruits on gumdrops. Yeah, Gummy Bee, very good bee. Here's the order you should gift it in. I would probably do something like Photon, Gummy, Tabby. Windy Bee and Vicious Bee are also good to gift. I would gift Vicious Bee in front of Crimson and Cobalt, but behind all the other bees. Puppy Bee, you're probably not going to be gifting for a while. So yeah, hopefully that explains the question as well. So moving on to equipment. You didn't know? Beast Farm has this cool thing called planters. It's pretty much macros for free. You don't have to run any program. You can just AFK in the field and your planter will grow. This is good for players who cannot macro. It's obviously not as good as macroing itself. If you can macro, you should definitely do it. But planters are a decent substitute for those who cannot. Planters, it's also quite self-explanatory. If you can afford the planter, make sure you buy it. The first 4 planters in the shop, the plastic, the candy, the tacky, and the pesticide planters, they're all very good for the price. Red clay and blue clay planters are also quite cheap, if I recall correctly, so if you can afford those, you might as well. And they have a chance of granting you insane loot. I personally have got a bunch of star jellies and some loaded dice from my tacky planter, and considering the price, I'm very happy with those rewards. This next thing, it's mostly my opinion, but listen up if you're still buying stuff in the red and blue HQ. So pretty much, there are these 2 masks. You have the fire mask and the bubble mask over in the blue HQ. And I tell this to everyone, if I were you, I would not purchase fire mask. Let me explain why. By the time you're onto buying something like the fire mask, you have probably unlocked this little area where the honeycomb shop is. Let me show you. The ace shop. Pretty much, this ace shop has 4 different things: the Cobalt Guard, the Honeycomb Belt, the Crimson Guard, and the Honey Mask. This is another thing I always tell people who are newer to the game: just buy the Honey Mask and just stick to it until you can afford the Gummy Mask. Do not waste your glitter extracts, your enzymes, whatever it is, on these 2 masks. They might seem tempting to buy if you can afford it, but make sure you don't, please. It's a massive waste of resources and honey for newer players, so I would not recommend it. But after all, it is your game, so you do whatever. But you heard my opinion. This next tip, it might also seem pretty self-explanatory, but a lot of people actually do not focus on it. Hey, remember when Sunbear was here? Oh yeah, only Beastorm veterans will remember. I wish Sunbear would come back one day. But pretty much, this next tip, it's gonna help you out a lot if you have not followed it. So in Beastorm, you have these things called amulets. I'm sure everyone knows what those are, and if you're newer to the game, early game, mid game, even end game, just get all of your badges. It doesn't matter how terrible the badge is. If it's a bronze stickbug amulet, if it's a bronze amulet, it's better than nothing. Let me show you guys, for example. So if I just get like a score of like 3 or something, I'll reset and let's see. I've done a couple of these and I got the score to like 30 or 50, and you can easily get up to 10 to 15% red and blue pollen and white pollen, and multiply that by 5, which is the amount of amulets you can get. That's literally like times 1.7 pollen of a color for free. I'm not even mentioning the capacity that stickbug has to offer. The worst amulet can give you up to 50,000 capacity, which is once again very good for newer players who are stuck on the worst backpacks. You don't even have to get a good score. Like literally any amulet works. But yeah, moving on, another tip I have to offer for newer players is you see these things called resources in your inventory, like stingers and gumdrops. I see a lot of people wasting their stingers on stuff like the coconut crab and the tunnel bear, and gumdrops on just quote-unquote boosting when they literally do not even have gummy bee. So until you own a gummy bee and a vicious bee, I would not even touch the stingers, and even if you do own both these, I would save them as well. The stingers are used for the Neon mask and both the red and blue cobalt guards, crimson guards, sorry. But yeah, if you cannot defeat the king beetle, the coconut crab, or the tunnel bear without the help of stingers, you probably shouldn't be wasting them. Because eventually, you're gonna get a decent enough hive, you're gonna get enough bee levels to defeat all of them. So yeah, eventually you're gonna be able to kill all those mobs with ease. No point wasting your resources on stuff like that. One other crucial tip I have to give, only because I see too many people just doing this, and it's so bad. Let me just go over it. So if you didn't know, the black bear has the option to give you a mythic egg at the end. Not even an option, he guarantees to give you a mythic egg at the end of his questline. He's a cool NPC. He gives you a mythic egg, he gives you like 3 or 4 star jellies when you complete his questline, he gives you a bunch of honey. Hey, he even gives you a diamond egg. And I see way too many people spending all of their time and resources on the black bear questline. Meanwhile, they should be spending it on all 4 different bears equally. So there are 4 bears that you should focus on in every stage of the game. The black bear, the mother bear, the panda bear, and the spirit bear. The polar bear and the brown bear, they're like background quests. If you have one to turn in, you should definitely do it, but you shouldn't focus your time on either of them unless you're endgame and you did everything the game has to offer. Yeah, please do not spend all your time on the black bear. Play the game, get the quests. Once you unlock Spirit Bear, I would suggest you focus a lot of your time on it. And while doing Spirit Bear quests, you can probably turn in some Mother Bear quests and some Black Bear quests because some parts of the quests like override each other. So yeah, this next tip is for everyone who still plays Beastorm in 2022 or 2023. So I know a lot of you guys might think the game gets quite stale, and I would agree with you. Even though it has to offer a lot for newer players, for endgame players, there's literally nothing to do except macro and just, do nothing. Another thing I have to tell you is just play with some friends. That's what I did for quite a few years. I just played Beastorm with friends on like a Discord voice chat. You can do that with a couple friends. You can hop on with a couple buddies on Discord and just grind the game. You'll have so much more fun than if you just do it alone in your room. Yeah, don't forget to go outside. I forget to do that if you get too good at Beastorm. Oh hey, you guys know this cool thing called gifted bees in Beastorm? Yeah, those. You can get those with 3 different ways. Fruits, including the star traits, of course. I consider that a fruit. I'll ask why. Gifted eggs, and royal jelly. I suggest you save your gifted star egg you get from Mother Bear early in the questline. You can use your gifted silver eggs, they're quite useless. And royal jelly. I see way too many people spending all of their honey, which is like 100 million or 200 million on royal jelly. They get 200 royal jelly with all their life savings ever, and they literally waste it on a brave bee. So until you get a couple billion honey, you should not use it on royal jelly. You might get lucky, you might get a gifted mythic bee, which some people and some noobs have gotten before. But more likely than not, you'll just waste all of your honey that you worked hard to get on a brave bee. Please do not waste all your honey on jelly. And also, if you have any more questions about Beastorm, make sure you watch this Beastorm glitches video because I might go over it there. And even if I don't, I give a bunch of useful glitches that are completely legit inside of Beastorm. They might also help you progress quite fast throughout the game. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.